I had bought half interest in the truck with Ross Pope. He had at least a Scales Furniture, and he said, I got two boys driving it, and I believe if I could sell you half interest in that truck, I could make more money on them 50% than I'm making now on an 100%. I said, well, I have a problem. He said, what? I said, I don't know how to drive a tractor and trailer. I've never driven a tractor and trailer, and I don't have any money. And he said, I've talked to your brother in Conover, and he said he would sign the note at the bank if you want to buy half interest in my truck. So I said, okay. He told me what, I could buy half interest in the truck. He wanted me to ride it and ride on my own pocketbook. And I said, okay. I bought the half interest in it. I started driving. That was in September of 1953, before the interstate highways were built. And I started driving, and I drove for 12 and a half years all over the eastern United States and as far west as Denver, Colorado, and Albuquerque, New Mexico. None of my trucks that I drove in 12 years had air conditioning on them, none of them, or automatic transmissions or anything like that. We had old roads, we had old hard seats. I drove for 12 and a half years, but I was going to tell, I drove two different whites. I was in the sleeper once when we had an accident, and the driver did hit a drink truck in the rear that had stopped in a fog for us meeting a school bus down in South Carolina. I was in the sleeper, and I felt the brakes go on real hard, and a bam, and then another bam, and we'd hit a drink truck in the rear. First thing I knew, a woman was opening the door on the truck and said, are you all right? Are you all right? And I said, well, I think so. I got glass all over the front seat here on my clothes, but anyway, I put my clothes on, I was okay. But that's a different story. We had to trade that truck in for another little cab over white. And so we had two different white tractors, and then we went to a Mack diesel, cab over Max. It would be high-rise Max, and I drove Max. I have a plaque on my office wall. I drove a Max, two different Max, 1,000,000 miles without a chargeable accident, 40 times around the world. And I got that plaque in my office right now. I'm proud of that. Mm-hmm. But anyway, I was having my Mack truck serviced up at Ralph Yount's garage, right out of Claremont. He owned the Montclair trucks. I was up there one morning, and Ralph Yount was all bent out of shape, and he said, I want to sell you this damn trucks, my house, and this garage. I can't get along with my brother, I can't get along with my daddy, and I'm going to move out of the county. He said, are you interested? I said, well, it sounds pretty interesting, because Montclair was a good company. And I said, let me talk to my partner. So I went to Ross Pope first, and he said, yes, that sounds good. He said, Ross said, let's him and me and Forrest and Tony go in together on it and buy it, each one 25% if we could. I said, well, Tony's awful young and don't know anything much about trucking. I said, why can't me and you and Forrest, if we can swing it, borrow the money and each one buy a third of the company? He said, yeah, that would work real good. So we said, we'll talk to a banker about it. We had met together and got a price from Ralph Yount, by the way, on it. Montclair would be happy for us to do that, buy those trucks. And so we met with the banker, Charles Long Sigmund. Charles Long Sigmund was a conservative banker, and he said, I don't know whether that's a good deal or not. I really don't know. And I said, Mr. Sigmund, we didn't come to ask you your opinion, what you thought about us buying it. We've decided we're going to buy it. Do you want to loan us the money, or do you want me to go to People's Bank at Catawba to Dave Hunsucker and get the money down there. And he said, I'll loan you the money. And that's what we're celebrating right now, 50 years of being together in the trucking. I was in business with Ross Pope, he passed away. Forrest, he passed away. Tony, he passed away, and I'm still hanging on. And I've enjoyed it. I think it's wonderful. Really been blessed. I appreciate everything that everybody's doing for us. Now we've got children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren coming on. Maybe they'll go on for a while.